our free flight show. It's going to be very exciting. You're going to see all kinds of unreleasable raptors today. We're going to learn a lot about raptors. And before we get started, I do want to give you a couple warnings. This is a free flight show. Birds are going to be flying incredibly close to your heads. We have a couple flight zones right here, back to here. So if you are in this line right here, you are going to be having birds fly right above your heads. We do ask that you remain seated during the program. It's also important while the birds fly over, you keep your hands in your laps. Very important to keep the birds very comfortable. Also, we're going to ask that if a bird does happen to land up there on those lights, it's fine to look at them, just make sure to keep your mouths shut. But we shouldn't have a problem, but just in case, okay guys? We're going to learn all about it. That's a good question. But first, let's introduce the people that make this happen. In the back, we have Dawn. We also have Javier and Dave helping us with audio. I think I see Kurt back there. Is that Kurt? And then in the back here, we have Joanne and Shelly and Kylie and a lot of people going into making this show, so we're very thankful for them. My name's Alyssa Collins. I'm a licensed educator. I also do falconry, and I'm a licensed rehabilitator. But that's not why we're here. We're actually here for the amazing birds that we take care of. My partner is going to come out right now with a very important bird. This is Allie. And Allie is a type of eagle. She's called an African hawk eagle. And she is very important because she's only one of 6 African hawk eagles in this entire country. So her genetics are very, very valuable. This is her handler, Dave. Dave is a licensed master falconer, propagator, which is a bird of prey breeder, and he's licensed in commercial abatement, which is a really cool type of pest control utilizing raptors instead of poisons and pesticides. But Allie, hopefully someday she's going to be a mom for us. One thing that we've been doing this summer, besides our breeding program, is you just saw some slides, which was blueberries. We actually protect blueberry fields from things like starlings utilizing raptors. Really cool type of pest control called commercial abatement. We've also been very busy with our breeding program, as you can tell. Some of these birds you're actually going to be able to meet and train today. But again, this is Allie, and she's a beautiful African hawk eagle. We're going to say goodbye to Dave because it's time for us to really start the program. And to do that, we need to get a brave volunteer from our audience. We have a lovely lady right here. Do you want to come up and help me with this next part? So what's your name? Caitlin? Caitlin, if you want to come right here and take a seat, Caitlin. We're going to explain to you what we're going to do. But first, I want to show you guys a clip, and we're going to set the mood. This is a clip that was taken right here at the Springs Preserve. It's actually of a type of raptor, and if you recognize this type of raptor, just shout it out. It's a very, very interesting type of raptor. They actually live in groups, unlike most types of raptors. And if you find a group of geese in the wild, we call it a gazelle of geese. If we find a group of ravens in the wild, we call it an unkindness of ravens. Well, what would you guys think a group of owls like this little guy would be called?
Group of owls.
Yeah, we had a little guy actually guess Hooters the other day, which was a good guess, but not what we're looking for. They're actually called a parliament when they're found in a group. And this is a type of owl that's found in a group. It's called a burrowing owl. They're desert birds. They're really cool, different kind of owls. And that's where Caitlin comes into play, okay? Caitlin has volunteered to be our sentinel owl. And all of you are owls here in Caitlin's owl community right here at Springs Preserve. But Caitlin, what time are owls usually out at? They're out at night. Caitlin's very smart. So Caitlin, we're not going to have the luxury of being able to see this owl coming. So we're going to ask you to put this blindfold right over your eyes so you can't see a thing. We also need to, you want me to put it on for you? You're only going to be able to warn us, being our watch owl, when the owl is coming by, your hearing, because owls have excellent hearing. Caitlin, if you want to hold out your hand, we have a special squeaker right here. And that squeaker, don't worry, it's not going to get you. Owls actually only eat skunks. They're the only thing that eats skunks in this country. But you're going to squeeze that when you hear the owl coming. And don't worry, we have some protective headgear for you, Caitlin, just in case. We're always thinking about safety here. Okay, Caitlin, just listen right now really quick, and hopefully she's going to save all of her family's lives. Are you ready, Caitlin? Well, let's give Caitlin a hand if she wants to take her blindfold off, stand up, and turn around. I want you to meet Wally. I think Caitlin just sacrificed her life to save all of ours. Let's give her a hand. She did a great job. And Caitlin, if you follow me right over here, I have a special Raptors wristband for your help. Very good job, Caitlin. You can go ahead and take your seat. Well, Caitlin just showed us one of Owl's most amazing adaptations. And they have some special things that help them hunt at night. One of those things has to do with their big, beautiful eyes. In fact, if I was to pluck my eyeball out right now, it would look something like this. Incredibly round. And because it's round like this, I can do special things with it, like turn it. But Wally here, which is a Eurasian eagle owl, the largest species in the world of owls, has a very different eye. In fact, if I was to pluck it out, it would look something like this. And because it's this size and shape, Wally can literally not turn his eyeball. So he has to be able to turn something else. His head. And how far do you guys think he can turn his head around?
All the way around.
All the way? We like to joke only one time can he turn his head all the way around. But he can come close. He can actually do 270 degrees, 3/4 of the way around. And he not only does that to see everything going on around him, but also to hear. Because owls like Wally can actually hunt rodents scurrying in a tunnel underneath the snow just by using their hearing. Pretty amazing. And the third and final adaptation, I want you to really listen.
Aww.
Did you guys hear a thing? No? Well, that's because he has a special adaptation called eyelashing. He creates microturbulence as he flies, and it makes him virtually silent while he flies. And that's why, Caitlin, you were hardly able to hear him, right? It's because he has that eyelashing on the side of his throat. But again, that is Wally, our Eurasian eagle owl. Let's give him a hand. He did a great job. Believe it or not, this guy is only 4 months old. He's just starting his free flight part. Last second, we had to take his free flight part out because practice this morning didn't go so well for him. But we're going to take Dharma out right now because she's going to teach us some more things about raptors. And to do that, I'm going to need to get another volunteer from our audience. We had a lady last time, so let's have a gentleman. You want to come right up here? What's your name? David. Thanks for volunteering, David. We have a very important job for David. David is going to help us learn what makes a raptor and different from other birds. David, you have volunteered to be our raptor game show contestant. Let's give a hand for David. Okay, David. Before we get started, I do want to let you know you do have a couple lifelines if you need them. First, you can ask anybody in the audience for help if you need to. Second, you can play charades with the audience. Okay, David? So looking at Dharma, luckily you have her here for reference. What is the first incredibly sharp thing that you see on her? Her nose. That's a good guess, David. Final answer, nose. Very good. David was right. The nose or the beak is the first sharp thing that makes a raptor and different from other birds. David, you're doing great. You see something else that's incredibly sharp on her. Her claws, David says. Very good, David. Claws are the second sharp thing. Well, you're doing great, David. You have one more sharp thing. This is sharp in a different way, though. But you do have your lifelines if you need some help. But do you want to make a guess what the third sharp thing is? Her eyes, David says. And David just won our raptor game show. He did such a good job. Way to go, David. We have a special wristband for you. You did an awesome job. You can go ahead and take your seat. Thank you so much, David. Well, thanks to David and Dharma, we just learned the 3 things that make a raptor and different from other birds. Their sharp beak, sharp talons, and sharp eyesight. Very good, David. We're going to say goodbye to Dharma for now, because we're going to get started with another part pretty quick. During this time, we're going to ask everybody to take a seat and remain seated just during the next 30 seconds. So we'll wait a second until everybody gets seated, because the next bird we're going to introduce is a bird named Duncan. And Duncan is actually Dharma's brother. And Duncan is going to fly right over your heads. We are going to ask you to remain seated and keep your hands in your or less during this part. But Dharma and Duncan are two different types of falcons. And falcons, you may have heard about them because they are literally the fastest and the strongest of all the raptors. They've been clocked at going speeds of over 250 miles an hour in their dive. So they are incredibly fast and agile birds. Duncan's going to come right on down here. Duncan, are you ready? Some really cool things that we can do as falcons to help protect the environment is green pest control called commercial abatement, where we actually patrol airports to protect airplanes from having birds run into them. We also can protect agriculture using falcons. We're lucky, though, that we still have falcons here because they almost went extinct. In 1970, there was less than 50 breeding pairs of peregrine falcons left in the entire United States. They were even extinct east of the Mississippi River. But that, again, is Duncan, and he is a very good falcon. Let's give Duncan a hand. Good job, Duncan. And he, again, is only 4 months old, so he's doing really good. The next bird that we're going to bring out, I'm going to ask Kylie to bring out Thor in his box. And this is a very mighty falcon that I'm going to have somebody help me from the audience train. How about the young lady in the second row? Do you want to come right up here? Okay, Kylie, you know to take your post, and here is a little treat. So what's your name? Okay, Sierra, let's get all set up, Sierra. I'm going to take you right over here, put you right on this X. Sierra, what's going to happen is we're going to do a training session with Thor. You are the first stranger that Thor has ever worked with. Can you believe that? I know, it's going to be fun. We're going to release Thor. He's going to come out and make a special appearance. We're going to show you exactly what we're going to ask you to do. He's going to come to me. He's going to come to Kylie. He's going to come back to that perch, and then we're going to have him come to you as a grand finale. You're going to put this arm up. I'm going to hold it just like this, and I'm going to call him right to your little arm, okay? Don't worry, he's a really nice, sweet bird. Everything should go according to plan. But do remember what I said. If he lands up there, keep your mouth shut. Okay, guys, are you ready for the mighty Thor? Here he is. Hey, Thor, come on. Do you remember your routine? This is Thor. He's a red-necked falcon from Africa. He looks very similar to our most common type of falcon, called an American kestrel. Kylie, if we can go ahead and call him. He's a baby, so he's just learning his routine. He's still pretty new at it. Hey, do you see? There he goes. And see how still she is? That's exactly what we're going to do, but don't worry, I'm going to help you out too. Okay, Thor, are you ready to come back? Good job, Thor. Okay, now, first stranger ever. I'm going to help you hold your hand. We're going to go right on this little spider web. Thor, are you ready? And notice how he's a little hesitant, but he's doing good. And because you flinched, he was like, I don't know if I want to go to her. Do you want him to come on your hand? Okay, we'll see. And this is the kind of stuff you will be able to do at the behind the scenes if you come. I think Thor is actually going to be practicing with us. Are you ready, Thor? Nice and still, nice and still. And you notice how he doesn't completely trust a new person. So really still. Good job. And I'm going to call him back up. Good job. Let's give her a hand. She did such a good job. Very nice. And Thor is just going to get better and better at doing his routine. If you want to stand right there by Kylie, I'm going to give you a special wristband in a second. But first, we have to get Thor back in his box. And since we do everything by positive reinforcement, I can never grab him and make him go in his box. I do have to ask him to do it, which he's doing very good at. Thor, you're going to step up. But let's give a hand for Thor. He did such a good job. Such a good beat. And we have a very special Raptors rock wristband for you. You are a very brave volunteer. Very good job. And Kylie, thank you. Well, we have one more bird, one more group of birds we're going to share with you. This is a very, very odd bird. I'm going to need to get a couple of volunteers up here. How about these two ladies? You want to come right up here, stand next to me? I'm going to give you this. And what's your name? Julia and Taylor. Okay, I'm going to bring this bird out. He's a strange bird. And I want you to make a guess on what on earth you think this is. Are you ready? Have you seen him before? What do you think, guys? Crow? Big animal? Raven? You know, you're right, absolutely right. He is a craven. He's a mix between an African pied crow and African collared raven. It's not just any craven. If you want to hand him that can, put it right by his beak, he'll teach you that, Romeo, what do you do with cans? Oh yes, he teaches us that it's very, very important to recycle. And I know my pocket's not open right now, Romeo. After the show, you know what, girls? He does a really cool trick. If you want to take this dollar bill, and you want to take this, if you want to hand that right to Romeo's beak, you want to see what he does? He actually is not just our recycling raven, he is our fundraising raven. He literally takes your cash donations and puts them right in our... Yep. All the way in, Romeo. All the way in. All the way in. You can do it. You can do it. They are problem solvers, yes. Good boy. Pretty cool, huh? And if you guys want to actually give $5 or more, you guys want to hand them those? We have a special wristband in appreciation for you guys. But you guys did a great job. Romeo, put it all the way in. Good job, Romeo. You can hand him that. Good job. Get it, Romeo. Way to go. And we have a special wristband for this young lady. You guys did a great job. You can go ahead and take your seats because we have one more really interesting bird to share with you. This bird, we've been working really hard on her routine, but she's been having some problems lately. It's always up to the birds what they're going to do in our shows. We can never really make them do anything. That's just how birds work. She is very near and dear to our hearts. She is actually a rehab bird. She lost one of her legs. If she does happen to land on you for some reason, don't worry. She'll just stay for a second, and then she'll be right on her way. But Javier is back there, and he's going to let Lily out, and I'm going to have her can, and hopefully everything will go according to plan. You ready, Lil? Oh, there she is. And she's going to take a roundabout, go right back up to her box, and Javier's going to hand her a can. And what she does is she actually, Lily, what do you do with cans? Good job. She definitely teaches us that if a raven can recycle, we all can too, no problem, right? Put it in. Yeah. Get it. Get it. Get your can. Well, this is the end of our show, but we do have a special guest that's gonna tell you about a couple of things. I'm gonna turn it over to Rachel. Thank you guys so much for coming. We really enjoyed you as an audience.
All right. How about that, you guys? Did you have a good time? Cool. So I want to let you guys know that you have a really exciting opportunity after this. I know some of my front row people here already have their backstage pass, and we've actually got a backstage pass program going on with Wings Over the Springs this year, and that's a new one. We haven't had that with them, so you guys have a really cool opportunity to actually get up close and personal and meet these birds yourselves. So I don't get to be the only one who gets to say hi to Dharma and hang out with her, which let me tell you, it's pretty cool. So you actually have this chance. You can buy tickets right outside the door at our little stand right when you come in the Origin building. They're $10 a ticket, and that lets you actually train the birds, maybe hold a bird, get a picture taken with them, and talk to Dave and Alyssa, who are their trainers, and learn how they use the positive reinforcement to train these animals and actually get to work with them. So it's pretty exciting. We really enjoy working with them here at the Springs Reserve, so we're glad that they're back. Also at 11:30, that backstage pass starts at 12. So if you want to kind of keep your animal theme going before you do that, at 11:30, my partner Thomas, who's another zoologist, is going to be out at our lizard exhibit, and he's going to be feeding the lizards this morning for you, so you can go check that out, and you'll make it back here in time at 12 o'clock to do your backstage pass. So thank you guys so much for coming. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you. Have a wonderful day.